Hi, I'm Dr. Mary Riggin. I want to talk today in this video lesson a little bit about the key facts about acupuncture and Oriental medicine. Now, first, I had the one of the biggest things when I first looked at this medicine was the fact that the oldest known text that explains this whole system of Chinese medicine is the Yellow Emperor's Inner Classic, and it's also known as the Neijing, which this book dates back somewhere between 100 and 400 BC. This book we still study from in acupuncture schools across the Western world, and it's what we reference back to, and this is the oldest known text. This system is so ancient, and that when I first looked at this back in 1992, I thought, oh my, if something this old is still around and still being used, there has got to be something to this. And so that book, it's amazing how a whole system of medicine was outlined, and it's thousands of years old. Now, even though the book dates back to somewhere around 4 or 500 BC, the practice of acupuncture and Oriental medicine, also known as traditional Chinese medicine, has a history really that dates back closer to 5,000 years. Do you remember the Iceman? There's a picture of him there in the video here. He had tattoos of acupuncture points, and you can just Google. There's so much research about this discovery of the Iceman, and they actually found these acupuncture points that were tattooed on his body, and again, more evidence that this system is ancient. Now, there's more. This system of medicine is a completely different system and is not based on our modern Western medical system. At its most basic level, it enhances the body's ability to heal, to mend, and to repair all on its own. Now, this practice, what's amazing and awesome is that it's actually licensed and regulated throughout the country and in many different countries. Here in Florida, where my practice is located, it's licensed as a form of primary health care independent of Western medicine. And you can see right up there, Florida law states and defines acupuncture as a form of primary health care based on traditional Chinese medical concepts and modern Oriental medical techniques. And it employs acupuncture diagnosis as well as treatment, along with other diagnostic techniques, therapies, and this is all for the promotion, the maintenance, and restoration of health and the prevention of disease. Now that comes right from Florida law, so it is a licensed and regulated practice as well, which is really important because there's a lot of things out there that are being done in the name of health and wellness that isn't regulated, and you really have to be aware of these things. With the internet having so much information out there, you need to check regulatory laws. And in the state of Florida, there's the My Florida website that you can check licenses and things like that for any kind of professional that you're working with. Now, there's more facts. Western medicine seeks to eliminate disease using pharmaceuticals or surgical procedures. And this is what we're used to. Western medicine's foundation is based on evaluating and treating the body's biochemical balance. And so we do lab tests, we do imaging, but it's the labs, the foundation of the medicine is all in that biochemical analysis of the body. Now, Oriental medicine is very different. It's more based on evaluating and manipulating the qi, which really is more closely related to the electromagnetic fields, or also known as EMFs, or the frequencies of the body systems. See, it's a different science. It's more based on physics, not biochemistry. I believe this is where there's a lot of confusion that happens, and this word qi is mysticized, and really It's not at all. It's just a different technology we're not used to. Think cell phone technology being applied to the human body and to our medical system. It really is quite fascinating. Now, unfortunately, there's no way to exactly measure these energy fields with current technology. So we do rely on the ancient diagnostic techniques used in Oriental medicine. Now, ancient texts outlined cause and effect as it developed into an exact science. And you see what happened is they'd press on a spot, it'd create a change, and they started to just write these things down and pass down the information from generation to generation. And with time, it developed into this whole system of medicine. Now, thousands of years later, we have a medical system with little to no negative side effects, of course, with proper training, certifications, and licensing. And this system focuses on enhancing the body's ability to heal, to mend, and to repair all on its own. And I mentioned proper licensing because there are many different ways to practice the different modalities of the practice of Chinese medicine and Oriental medicine. And many times our different modalities are being extracted from the full system of the medicine and utilized separately under a Western umbrella, if you would. And so to really get the full scope of the medicine, the benefit of the full scope of the medicine, understanding it's more than putting a needle in someone or pressing on a spot. This medicine is based on understanding how it works and why those things create changes when we stimulate. And understanding this full system goes back to studying these ancient texts that go back thousands of years. Now, why use Oriental medicine? Well, it goes way beyond lab tests. Labs only evaluate disease, and it leaves a big gap between optimal health and disease. Oriental medicine can fill that gap. If you look at this little chart here, we can see for labs to show any kind of disease or illness, you've got to be below 30% of optimal because labs only evaluate disease. Now, Chinese medicine says anything below 85% of optimal can absolutely be improved. Now, here's the problem. You could be sitting at 50% of optimal, not feel right, but be told you're healthy because you have normal labs. And that becomes the problem. We sit around waiting for the labs to show something, but the body has to be in a disease state for that to happen. And so it's important to have a different way to evaluate. Oriental medicine can fill that gap and be able to evaluate malfunction long before lab tests show anything. And so having a different way to fill this gap becomes really critical. Now, the FDA describes, they define lab tests as medical devices that are intended for use on samples of blood, urine, or other tissue or substances taken from the body to help diagnose disease and other conditions. And so it doesn't tell us how optimal we are or how good we are. It shows disease. We need a different way to evaluate and not just be reactive waiting for the labs to show something. Chinese medicine, Oriental medicine, has diagnostic techniques that fill the gap, that can evaluate what's happening in the body and outline a plan of action to actually improve function before disease hits. Fascinating and amazing. Now, if what I talked about resonated with you and you want to know more, I'd invite you to take the next step and find out if this is right for you. And where everybody starts is a health history and evaluation is what's needed. And this visit is really important. And what's involved is it uncovers hidden weaknesses in the body's ability to heal, mend, and repair. Now, this is approximately a 90-minute appointment. What we do is have you come in, we look at what's going on currently in your body, we look at what's gone on in the past, we evaluate all the subtle indicators that is giving us clues as to what are the bigger imbalances in your body's systems, and it gives information as to what's actually happening and why your body isn't fixing itself. Now, symptoms are viewed as indicators of a deeper problem or imbalance. Once that imbalance is identified, a course of treatment, it can be presented if it's appropriate for you. Lab tests won't show what Oriental medicine's ancient methods can reveal. Now, here's the opportunity. Most people express to me that this is the most thorough and insightful healthcare appointment they have ever experienced. And as an opportunity, what I'd like to do is offer this the cost for this visit at a 50% discount. Now, the regular cost is typically $190 as a gift. I'm giving a coupon code, which is CM50. You can see it there right on the video. And what you do is you go to the store, at checkout, you put in that discount. Now, whatever the sale price or whatever price is posted on the website, this code will give you an additional 50% off. And so I do this to prevent any barriers from keeping you from experiencing this visit, to remove those barriers so that you can go beyond the lab tests and look to the ancient texts for optimal health. A medical paradigm that uses logic within a proven system that dates back thousands of years and does no harm. Thanks for listening today. I'm Dr. Mary Riggin with Healing Touch Oriental Medicine. Thanks for watching.